Time had passed, and Gordon was soon back on the Express. The big blue engine never felt so strong and true. Murdoch, however, was working extra hard. He was told by Sir Topham Hatt he would be off Express duties permanently, in spite of the various praises and, well, concerns. It didn't stop the 9F from doing his usual local passenger and goods train runs, but all the same, Murdoch felt he wanted to do so much more and regain more trust, yet more responsibility from Sir Topham Hatt. Soon, the summer rush ended, which turned to autumn, which soon winter came to the island of Sodor. The snow fell from the sky. The cold made the rails slippery. Every engine ensured that they would take care, especially in the sidings. Well, almost everyone. This is degrading rubbish! James was rostered to pull goods trains in the absence of Henry for a few days as he was in the works having his brakes mended. Well, look on the bright side, James. It's nearly, Chrysler. Is it? Or Crimbus? Christmas, Gordon calmly corrected. Well, yes, Christmas, sorry. The other engines did have a chuckle. Wise old Edward, however, looked into the sky. The snow was coming down heavier and faster than usual. Driver told me that the snow was supposed to turn for the worst. We'd best be careful on the rails. We certainly don't want any engines crashing into cow fields now. Our engines that decide to fall in ditches. Gordon glared angrily at James. Murdoch backed into the sheds. At that moment, he heard what happened. Come on, everyone. The snow may be messy, but it's so lovely and beautiful at this time of year. I do agree with Murdoch. It may be lovely, but we cannot underestimate it. Poor Thomas got it stuck in the snow. If it were not for Terence, he'd be frozen to the frames. At least certain engines will pull certain trains, and no more than that, Gordon said smugly. Murdoch just looked away from Gordon, and soon, one by one, all the engines went to sleep. As the days wore on, the snow kept piling all over the island. Trains were delayed, tracks and roads were blocked, and workmen hacked away at the frozen banks of ice. One early December morning, Gordon was preparing to leave with the Express. The train was scheduled to leave for Vicarstown as usual, but the rails were icy. But Gordon, as usual, was so confident he barely left the shed. Just as the driver opened the regulator, Gordon only moved barely a yard when he stopped. What has happened to me? I feel so thirsty! Your filler cap got frozen. We won't be ready in time for the Express. Bother! And just when things were going so nicely, too. Gordon's driver rushed to the station office to speak to Sir Topham Hatt. Gordon's filler cap is frozen shut. Find another engine immediately. Sir, you won't like this, but there's no engine available. Ridiculous! That's so... Oh, right. Wait a minute. I just know the engine. I owe him after my, decision. Murdoch was getting fired up, ready to take the early morning goods. This cold winter is just what we need for the Christmas holidays. Well, the fire feels so beneficial, that's for sure. Then the yardmaster ran up to Murdoch and his crew. Murdoch, I was instructed by Sir Topham Hatt to tell you that you will take the Express. Murdoch was confused. But Sir Topham Hatt told me... Yes, in spite of what he told you months ago, Murdoch, this is an emergency. Gordon's filler cap is frozen shut. Please hurry to the platform. The passengers are waiting to board. Murdoch's crew wasted no time in getting his fire lit. The mighty engine was determined to redeem himself. He soon arrived at the platform. At that moment, the passengers immediately boarded the coaches, the guard blew the whistle, and Murdoch was able to set off with the Express. Will not record break by any means today, old boy. I have no intentions of doing that, driver. Murdoch shot cheerfully down the countryside. The coaches glided as if they were on ice, and the passengers didn't seem to mind the change of pace in the orange 9F. The snow began to pick up as they reached Wellsworth. Edward, who was shunting a row of trucks in a siding, saw Murdoch and was aghast by what he saw. "You can do it, Murdoch. I'll be on standby if you need me to bank you up the hill." Murdoch smiled, and with a friendly hoot of his whistle, he charged for Gordon's Hill. At this time of year, the hill can be very slippery. Each engine, whether they ascend or descend the mighty hill, had to ensure their sandboxes are filled to the brim. Murdoch's driver had a realization. Did you shut the sandboxes?" "Last night. We should be fine, hopefully." Best to be safe than sorry if... Then Murdoch felt the strain of the hill. As he attempted to climb, his wheels spun helplessly. "Quick, get the sandboxes activated!" But nothing happened. "Damn thing's jammed! It was working fine yesterday!" Murdoch reversed back to the bottom of the hill. The driver had an idea. "Let's use your cocoa to melt this ice. Don't worry, I promise to get you one at Vickerstown." The driver poured the cocoa onto the sandbox. That did the trick. "Give it everything you got, old boy." "I'll do my very best, driver." Murdoch restarted. His sandbox was activated. The moment his wheels began to slip, within seconds, Murdoch gripped the rails and slowly climbed the hill. At first, things were going well. Then suddenly, the sand started to dissipate. "I thought you said the sandboxes were full." "I did, I swear. I made sure of it." "Well, we just gotta pray that we get up this hill or we will be the runaway of the century." The crescent of the hill appeared in sight. Murdoch closed his eyes, hoping that he would reach the top. At last, the mighty engine and Express climbed over the hill. "We did it! We did it!" Murdoch cheered. The passengers even leaned out of the window to thank Murdoch and his crew, but realized they were going to miss their train. Murdoch's driver threw up in the regulator and accelerated as fast as his wheels would let him. "If this is my last run with the Express, I'll make it my most proud impression for us on top of that." Murdoch passed by each engine along his way. Even Henry was impressed. "You go, Murdoch! Run like the wind!" Murdoch felt pleased. By now the snow picked up a bit more, but eventually they arrived at Vickerstown right on time. 199 was waiting. "So seems the mighty Murdoch arrived and followed the rules this time." Murdoch was too tired to respond. The passengers erupted from the coaches and thanked Murdoch, his driver, and fireman. 199 was confused. "Well," said 199, who was paralyzed from the response of the passengers. Never mind, and Merry Christmas." The diesel oiled out of Vickerstown with the passengers in his coaches. At that moment, a familiar figure arrived. It was Sir Topham Hatt. Murdoch knew what he would say next, but to his surprise, he was very pleased. "I heard about your delay on the hill, and while it wasn't your fault, I am happy you were able to get your passengers to their destination on time. I am proud of you, Murdoch." "Thank you, sir. But I know this was my last time pulling the Express, and..." "Murdoch, I had a lot of thought to the matter, and I reconsidered my words and decision from months ago. I would like you to take the Express more often in the future. How does that sound? Murdoch was very surprised and very elated. Oh, thank you, sir. I swear to be a very responsible and reliable engine. Tomorrow it's back to usual jobs as usual, Murdoch, but you will be on the ready until the holiday season passes. Merry Christmas, Murdoch. Merry Christmas, sir. As Sudrian turned and walked away, the fireman peered into Murdoch's sandboxes. See? There was plenty of sand that was frozen as well. Seems cocoa and sand don't mix. I suppose. Oh, there's your cocoa, by the way. Murdoch returned to the sheds that night feeling truly accomplished, and redeemed at the same time. The next morning, Gordon spoke to Murdoch. Murdoch, I heard you did wonders with the Express. I am sorry I said those rude things about your well. It's all right, Gordon. Water under the bridge. Merry Christmas, Maurice. That's not my name. How did you know? Oh, the indignity. As Christmas dawned upon Sodor, the engines were all finishing out their Christmas deliveries. Murdoch that Christmas night was resting at the sheds at Tidmouth. He felt like a personal burden had been finally lifted off his buffers, and his Express redemption was the best Christmas present of all.